Hello, everyone. Thank you for being there with us all along. This time around, we are creating a short video, and this particular video is about SSRF vulnerability in web application. SSRF meaning server-side request forgery vulnerability. So I'm going to walk you through the TryHackMe room of server-side request forgery. You see, discover the inner workings of server-side request forgery and explore multiple exploitation techniques. So now I've started up my machine and I'm connecting through OpenVPN to my own personal workspace. So the landscape of a web attack constantly evolves. With threat actor devising sophisticated method. Okay, I've done this. Let's go to the next one. That is Anatomy of Server-Side Request Forgery. Okay, when developing networked software, it's common to make requests to external servers. Yes, when developing network softwares. Here means when you're developing a network software, it's common to make requests to external servers. Developers often use this request to fetch remote resources like software updates, or import data from other applications. Why these requests are typically safe. Improper implementation can lead to vulnerability known as server-side request forgery. Now, if I may understand what they tried to say here, they said when developing a networked software, you want to develop a software that needs networking, it's common to make requests to external server. That is true because when you're developing a networked software, that's each different software have to communicate each other. That means you have to make a request to an external servers because most of this software might be in different servers, right? Okay. And then developers often use this request to fetch remote resources like software updates. Okay, they use requests to fetch resources like software updates, yes, from external servers, or import data from other applications. They can equally import data. Why these requests are typically safe? Proper implementation can lead to a vulnerability known as server-side request forgery. So you can see the example of what they are showing us here. This is a web server. This is a web server. The error request is blocked by the firewall. Okay. And now this is victim server. Victim server from this to this, okay, to this, okay. And this will come back and it will come back to here. So if you are going direct to the victim server, it will be blocked. But if you're going to if you go to another web server and from that web server and send to this other victim server, then it will be reasonable. Okay, let's see. An SSRF vulnerability can arise when user provided data is used to construct a request. It's always about user input because most of the time developers always trust users to give them the input they thought would be, but user input have been a very big vulnerability right now. And without proper sanitation and validation of user input, there are many vulnerabilities that can go on. There is many risks to a web application, starting from server-side request forgery, just like the room we are in, to XML injection, to server-side template injection, to user is vulnerable to all kind of web application vulnerability. That is why, as a developer, you have to pay attention to every user input and make sure that it's well secured. User provider is such as forming a URL to execute an SSRF attack. An attacker can manipulate a parameter value within the vulnerable software, effectively creating or controlling requests from the server, from the software, and directing them towards other servers or even the same server. Direct them towards other servers. effectively creating or controlling requests from that software. Is effectively creating or controlling requests from that software and directing towards the other server even the Server-side request forgery vulnerability can be found in various types of computer software across a wide range of programming language and platform as long as the software operates in a networked environment. While most server-side request forgery vulnerabilities are commonly discussed in web application and other network software, they can be present in server softwares. OWASP ranking. Server-side request forgery is a formidable security threat, earning a spot in OWASP's top 10 list. Yes, that is true, making it imperative to understand and defend against it as it jeopardizes data integrity and application security. As per OWASP, factors regarding server-side request forgery are mentioned below. Maximum incident rate 2.72%. You can see average incidents. Okay. Total common vulnerability and exposure is 385. Okay. The above table provide insight into the prevalence, impact, and coverage of server-side request forgery vulnerability in a specific context or data set that OWASP measures. The interpretation of the above table is explained below. Okay, this is a maximum incidence rate. It suggests how often this vulnerability has been encountered. Okay, all these things are, how server-side request forgery have been evolving all over for a very long time. Then note, the server-side request forgery vulnerability ranks 7th in the OWASP API security top 10, number 7th. That is critical. Risk of server-side request forgery. Data exposure. As explained earlier, cyber criminals can gain unauthorized access by attempting the request tampering with the request on behalf of a vulnerable web application. Gain access to sensitive data hosted in the internal server. Reconnaissance. An attacker can carry out port scanning of internal network by running malicious scripts on vulnerable servers or directing to script hosts on some external server. Attacker can carry out port scanning of an internal network by running malicious script on a vulnerable server or redirecting to scripts hosted on some external server. Denial of service attack. It is a common scenario that internal network or servers do not expect many requests, therefore they configure to handle low bandwidth. Attackers can flood the server with multiple legitimate requests, causing them to remain unavailable to handle genuine requests. What is the average weighted impact for the server-side request for vulnerability as per the OWASP top 10? Weighted impact, right? Average weighted impact. I believe they give us that information here. Average weighted impact, right? Average weighted impact, that is 6.72. That will be the answer. 6.72. Let's see. Cross my hand. I believe is this. Well, you see, we've solved this first lab in TryHackMe server-side request forgery vulnerability. Thank you for being here with me, and thank you for following up till this length. And I urge you to always check my YouTube channel so that you can meet up with all kind of hacking skills I'll be rolling out this week and next week. It will be so super amazing. If you are able to follow up properly, you'll be able to run all kind of web application hacking, penetration testing, and even Python programming. Just keep up with me, and please do not forget to click that like button and that subscribe button, because that is what is keeping us going on what we are doing. Thank you, and God bless you for joining us today. Bye for now.